Okay, and welcome back everyone to Strange Planet Podcast. And for earlier this week, as most of you already know, was the State of the Union address. And I'm going to be flat out honest with you, I didn't watch any of it. Why? The Trump rhetoric is just full of lies. Every time he opens his mouth, a lie comes out. You keep listening to this shit, you're going to start believing these bullshit lies. Now, I did later on in the week catch a couple of clips of it, and all that did was basically prove me right. The fact that he's lying about everything, and somehow it's okay. The sheep believe it, and the base loves it, and the Republican Party seems fine with the lying. But when does the lying stop? That's what my question I'm bringing to the table is here. And before you answer that, what did you guys think of that abysmal State of the Union address?
I didn't watch it either.
Ding, ding, ding.
It was nothing that I was interested in.
In the slightest.
It's honestly a disgrace that he's our president, and I had no interest in watching him perform for essentially himself.
Right, right. How about you,
What
Mark?
about you, Mark?
Well, I also didn't watch it because didn't want to waste my time. Oh, yeah, because I knew what it was going to be about. It's going to be about him bashing Democrats, claiming things that he did that he didn't do, or taking credit for other people's stuff that he didn't do. And I'm tired of hearing the man speak. I'm done. Just make it stop. I don't care how you do it, make it stop. Because at this point, it's like G says, just if he's going to keep spitting it out and spitting it out and spitting it out until you probably say to yourself, well, maybe that is the truth. And it's just not.
And it's not.
I mean,
right.
He's living by the fake it till you make it situation, and he's getting away with it.
Pretty much.
Eventually, it's going to catch up to him. At least we'd like to hope so.
You would think.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah,
I mean,
it wasn't a State of the Union. It was
the state of Trump.
Just like, oh, yes, this is what's going to happen with me. It's just, yeah, it's like you said, it's the state of Trump. It's the state of mind, and it's just out of this world.
Right? You were going to say something there, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that his it was all about just basically messaging and setting the tone for the elections later this year.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, the midterm elections are going to have huge consequences in terms of his ability to, I would say govern, but he hasn't done much of that
at all.
He has, some more things on his agenda that he'd probably like to accomplish. Whether he can get them done or not depends on whether he can, number one, maintain control of Congress, because you have to get things passed, or number two, whether he'll just bypass Congress entirely, like he's done many times during this term. He seems to not really care for congressional approval. We had the Supreme Court ruling that said, hey, Congress has the Article 1 power to, raise tariffs. And Trump's response to that, to them throwing out nearly all of his tariffs, was, let's try a different route. I'm going to, do a 10 and then later 15% tariff on all, imports. And Supreme Court be damned. And now he's going to say he's going to do it under a different legal theory, but so we're going to have to essentially go back to the Supreme Court and have them say no again. But, instead of sort of saying, hey, the Supreme Court said I can't do this, maybe he should get congressional approval He has both houses of Congress. Why isn't he asking them for approval for his tariffs if they're so good for this country? Because he knows that, he won't get it passed. The Senate, has the filibuster, but even so, like there are many Republicans who don't want to vote for tariffs because they know they are economically harmful to average Americans.
100%.
And so, and they're honestly harmful to, you know, everyone. American businesses don't want to, you know, raise their prices. They want to raise their prices for profits. They don't want to raise their prices to pay the US government money.
Right.
Um, and so, it's putting a lot of strain on their customer base. Uh, they'd like to be the ones putting the strain on their customer base in a free market economy. This is not a free market economy if you're telling people that you know, they shouldn't buy these goods made in other countries. We're just going to raise the prices of them, even if they make them cheaper, so in some cases, a better product. Um, it's not free market capitalism. It's, controlled
Hmm.
by the government. They're telling you you cannot buy these products, or they're dissuading you from buying these products, from overseas. Um, and so, anyone that tries to say like, you know, this is like Republicans, this isn't the Republicans that the principled Republicans that, believed in free market economies. This is a new kind of Republican that really doesn't care about that kind of stuff.
It's really for
They
himself.
are, well, yeah, Trump
Yeah.
is
You
for
know what I
himself,
mean?
but the Republican political establishment is all about being subservient to Trump
Yeah.
because they're
Yep.
afraid of him. They know that, if they go against his agenda and what Trump wants,
They'll fire him.
Trump
Yeah.
Trump
Let's see
will,
ya.
run a primary against them. And so, they're put in this position where, if they stand up to him, they're going to be punished. And
Marjorie Taylor Greene's a perfect example of that.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, Liz Cheney.
Yep.
Over.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a challenge because, these are Republicans who, you know, they're quite partisan themselves, but if they step out of line with Trump, then, that's it. Um, their base turns on them because they're so beholden to Trump. It is a cult.
Yep.
It's effectively a cult where, even if they go against Republican principles like free market capitalism, then, they don't care. They, so, they say family values. When has the president displayed family values? All he's displayed is, he, cheats on his
He's a
wives.
freaking
He,
pedophile, for Christ's sakes. Family values.
I mean,
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
wouldn't go out and say that he's certainly one, but
Well, if you hang around
there,
one, I mean, you know what I mean?
well, I
Yeah.
don't want, listen, I don't want to be sued for $10 billion. So I'd say the jury is still out on that. But there are questions he has to answer,
Oh, yeah.
such as why were documents withheld from the Epstein files that were all supposed to be released? One of the documents, or at least a set of the documents, were about a young girl who had accused Trump, and she was interviewed by the FBI multiple times of sexual assault. Okay,
Yep.
and
And all the
why would
redactions.
why it's not a redaction.
Well, no, not
The
that. Go
whole
on.
no, well, the whole documents were missing. They did not
They didn't even
release
release
them.
them. Right, right. For those.
Um, And so one has to wonder what other documents were also not released.
Right. And even the ones they
Even
did release, they were all like redacted. So,
sure,
you know what I
sure.
mean? So it's kind of like you did release it, but did you? Did you really?
Well,
You know what I mean?
remember back last May, I think it was, he had 1,000 FBI agents comb through the Epstein files and scrub them from, you know, things that could be potentially damaging. We don't know what exactly they did, but if you give, a directive to FBI agents to do that, and you know, put them in a building and have them go through, all those files, who knows what was removed from them, you know, who knows what happened to them. So we really can't trust, anything that the president says about his relationship with Epstein, or you can't trust, the documents that came out, because a lot of redactions, number one, and number two, what isn't there? What are they still withholding?
They're hiding stuff still.
Yeah.
Exactly. They are 100%
Now,
still
one
hiding
of
shit.
the interesting revelations that uh, came out is that Bill Gates, remember the document that it was one that Epstein like sort of sent to himself, documenting the fact that Bill Gates asked for antibiotics or some kind of
Yeah.
drug to treat a STD or STI. And they were like Russian women. And so apparently Bill Gates admitted that he cheated on his wife with Russian women.
Oh, shit.
He admitted it to, I think, maybe I think there were people at his foundation. Um, and so, wow. Now
Coming
we know
clean. You don't hear that often.
now we know why Melinda Gates left him.
Yeah, pretty much.
So whether or not they were underage or not, we don't know.
Right, right.
But
But he was
that
real
is
about it.
that is stunning.
Yeah, that really is. And but that's the one thing, like, as big of a dirtbag move as it was, it does take like integrity to at least come out and admit it.
Well, I
That's something the
mean,
piece of shit president we have is never gonna do.
I don't know about integrity because
Well,
he
maybe
was
not
caught.
integrity. Right, yeah, maybe not
If he
integrity.
wasn't caught, like
He
we
would have never
wouldn't be
said
hearing
nothing.
anything about this.
Right.
He would still be with Melinda Gates if he wasn't caught.
That's a very good call. That was the wrong word actually. But like the process of coming out and being real about it, you know what I mean? Not deflect and deny like Trump's going to do until
Well,
probably the
yeah,
day he dies, you know what I mean?
he had a reckoning with his mistakes.
Reckoning, there's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
Um, he made some huge mistakes, but whether or not they involved underage girls, we don't know.
Right, right.
Um,
It's on the table, but
but yeah, so like these files are not going away. Well,
nope.
at least maybe physically they'll go away, but I think that throughout the rest of the year through to campaign season, you're going to hear about them a lot. Now, whether Trump can create enough distractions such that the voters are motivated to vote for Republicans, I don't think that's going to happen. He wants his voter ID laws passed so that he can suppress the vote.
Right.
Um,
Exactly.
and I think it's just a shame. We had Reverend Jackson passing away, recently,
Oh, that's right too.
and
Condolences
that was
there.
someone who was on the front lines fighting for things like voting rights. And to see, those things that people fought and died for, just summarily taken away, is really frustrating, to be honest. And insulting. And, there has to be, some sort of, these, it started with the Supreme Court with the Voting Rights Act and them just like, totally shitting on it. And so, now we get to a place where the president's actively trying to make it so that, not just Black Americans, but basically Democrats have a significant disadvantage in exercising their right to vote, which is a fundamental right in a democracy.
Right, right,
Trump has come right out and said that, Republicans in, certain states should just take over the voting. They should, you know, I forget if the term he used was nationalize it, but like, what the hell is that? Like, you're gonna control our right to vote. Now, in the past in America, voting has been, not as free as, you may think. There was a lot of dirty political dealings. Um, America was not as democratic as it was prior to Trump. It just kept, the throughout history, America has, become more and more democratic and more participation, more and more diversity in terms of participation. You know, Women got the right to vote, Blacks got the right to vote. It's just, more participation. And then now you're seeing, a backlash, a restriction on that. And so it's really frustrating when,
you're going backward.
all that hard work that was done, all that sacrifice, and you're just seeing it, done away with so quickly
Right,
and without, much in the way of protest or in the way of, resistance, because we have no, sort of outlets for power where, we can resist. Yes, you can um, go out and protest. You can, voice your opinion on it, but a lot of people are just silent. They don't care. It doesn't affect them, so they're not going to worry about it. And, I think that is fundamentally un-American for people to just sit by while other people's rights are stripped away.
right, right.
They're going to come to regret it, just like the Germans, regret, not doing anything about Hitler when he took certain people's rights away.
Right, right. Because even he's doing everything to even trying to make mail-in voting ballots harder and everything. So you
Right.
figure this, yeah, like this is we're going backwards faster than we went forwards. That's kind of where we're looking at right now.
Yep.
We've worked so hard to get to where we're at, and he's destroying everything in the course of just a couple of years. Maybe not even, you know? It's really
Yeah.
sad to
No,
see.
he said that the elections in some states should be run by the Republican Party.
Like that makes any goddamn
Like
sense,
why should one party control voting? That's
right?
ridiculous.
It makes no sense, like
And
whatsoever.
they kind of do in some respects with, trying to draw gerrymander and draw political maps. But, to go beyond that, it actually like stop people from voting. That's un-American.
Well, you know why? He's doing as much as he can to do this because he knows if he doesn't, he's 100% going to lose. I mean, he's probably going to
Well,
anyway.
he's not
But,
going to lose because he is already in the position of power, unfortunately, that his voters put him in.
right. But this is like a
He's gonna
desperate,
lose. He's gonna lose, his ability to have a Congress that is supportive of his efforts, who do any and this he knows that if he loses Congress, if Republicans lose power, they're not going to be too happy if they're going to lose their political jobs. And so they're not going to there's a chance that they'll turn on Trump, especially after the midterm elections because
That's the real test.
they know that Trump can't or shouldn't be able to serve a third term. And so he'll be a lame duck then.
Right,
And,
right.
he won't be able to get anything done because he can't pass it through Congress. So then he's going to have to, if he wants to get things done, his agenda. I mean, he's already been doing, it unilaterally anyway, but you're just going to probably see more of that. And so you'll see the Republican Party, if they lose these midterm elections, if they come out in support of Trump, you're going to see them turn on Trump. And he doesn't want that. He wants everyone cheerleading for him. But you know what? In the end, he doesn't care because he already got what he wanted. He got the presidency, he got the power back, he got able
Tons of
to,
money.
okay, yes, money, but he avoided going to prison, and he basically set his family up for generations. When before, yeah, he was rich, but he wasn't wealthy. Okay, he was not as rich as he projected himself to be. But now he is honestly a true billionaire. I don't think he was a billionaire until the night before the presidency when he sold his
Bullshit
crypto
crypto.
coin and kind of rug pulled that and pulled in billions of dollars from that. I think that was the first time he was an actual billionaire,
Yeah,
like
well, no, it
cash
was. He's
billionaire.
the king of grifting. So you look at that bullshit
Right.
crypto,
And
and that's perfect for him.
it's just so sad because like he is such a dumb person. Like he is not smart, okay?
No, he's
Like
not.
he is so unintelligent, and it's just so sorry that people like fall for his like stupidity.
Yep,
Like,
they believe his bullshit.
well, it's not just bullshit. It's like they think he makes like convincing arguments, but like he's just so dumb.
He's got the
He's
best
like,
words. Well,
I just don't get it.
I'll tell you this: if what do you call it? The Democrats take the House or something, and say the midterms go the way we're assuming, that could be his third impeachment, couldn't it?
Probably, but
But what's that?
like the
Yeah.
first and the
It'll
second,
never
like,
pass. You don't want JD Vance in the seat anyway.
I
Well, he'll still
mean,
be impeached, but that doesn't remove him from office, right?
Yeah, but he's been impeached 3 times at that point, and it's just
right.
ridiculous.
No, like they need 2/3 to convict in the Senate, and that's not going to happen unless the Republicans turn on him, and that could happen.
That's possible, I
That
suppose.
the I could see him being removed from office
No kidding, really.
After the midterms, I could see JD Vance, who is a slimy fuck.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I could see him, sort of conspiring to, take over the presidency. Like he doesn't have to do it though. Maybe not because he is already in the position as the next up. Um, but I think he wants to step into, that power vacuum that's going to occur, presumably when Trump leaves office. And, if Trump is deeply unpopular because of certain things like more Epstein file revelations or the economy goes sour, um, I think that you're going to see JD Vance in a position where he might have to support, removal of Trump. And you'll
Hmm.
definitely see Republicans, lawmakers, say, oh, well, he's done something, a bridge too far. We can't support him anymore. I think that's coming, but yeah, also be prepared for a lot of destruction because he's not going to take kindly to that.
No, of course not.
You saw what he did with these new tariffs. Like the Supreme Court says no, just going to have tariffs on everything. Like he doesn't care. Okay.
Yeah, and the American people, the ones paying all that too.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the sad part. You know what I mean? Such a shit show it's turned into. It really has.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Shit's happening behind the scenes you guys don't even know about, and it's just him setting up more people to do more shit for him. Like Eileen Cannon squashed any hope of Jack Smith's report coming out, and it's funny coming from a judge who is basically in Trump's pocket and has been proven to be biased when it comes to Trump. But we can let that slide. I've
Yeah.
heard telltale that the Supreme Court, if God forbid a Democrat was elected president next term or whatever the situation is, that they will make it impossible for the Democrat to get anything done.
That's
This is the
the
They do
problem
that
that they
anyway.
have.
they've been doing that for the past
No,
like
I
20
know, but
years.
like
Yeah.
now that they have the 6-3 majority, it's going to be fucking ridiculous. Or is it 5-4?
Oh no, it's
It's still
6-3.
yeah, it's
6-3.
6-3 majority. It's going to be like, yeah, great. Now we're going to have a 6-3 majority still. They're not going to decide anything.
Oh, and
All Republicans
you
are all going
heard
to do is sue us for
there's
bullshit.
some talk of
Stacking the court.
of
Alito stepping down.
Alito stepping down and being replaced.
Yeah, I've
So
heard that.
that would further solidify the longevity of the conservative court.
Yep. That's what I'm saying though, because like I've said this probably months ago in a past episode, but like they always say, do nothing Democrats. But to a certain extent, that's true. But to a certain extent, it's false because
Mm,
no matter what they bring to the table, if the Supreme Court is, like it is, mostly Republican, mostly conservative, no matter how good that idea is, they're not going to pass it because they don't want the Democrats to look good. And you're not going to get that idea from a conservative because here we are right now. And where is it? It's not coming.
All
See what I'm
Trump's concerned
saying?
about is putting money in his pockets.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the game is technically kind of rigged for the Republicans in a sense, and it's until that Supreme Court balances back out, or what I mean, say somehow some of them die, and because that's the only way you could leave in this weird ass fucking country. But unless you say there's a Democratic favor for a change, which would probably be the first time in probably decades, then
All
you
right.
might see actual legislation passed for the American people and not just the ultra rich.
What do you think about changing some rules if we do get control back? Like
Term limits.
anybody in the Supreme Court who accepts
no,
gifts can be.
constitutional amendment.
What was that?
Term limits for Congress or what? Supreme Court.
I almost feel like across the board,
Both.
it's not a retirement home. You know what I mean? You have to
Well,
earn
we
Or
that
at
have,
least
seat.
well, you
if
need a
you do something,
constitutional amendment. That's not going to happen.
Of course
but
not.
like at least
Yeah,
if
not
you
in
do
America.
something wrong, you should be held accountable. Like if you're taking bribes from
Right.
somebody who's giving you planes and trains and automobiles, you should be able to be like, well, you're taking, bribes from people, so you're no longer viable.
Yeah, that's obviously not
Get
a
out.
good person.
Yeah,
Like,
well, if you're former Senator Bob Menendez is a Democrat, you
with the
get
gold
punished.
bars.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is, but most of them
Now,
are freaking Republicans.
hold on. One of the Republicans did this. The FBI had a video of him. His name is Tom Homan, who's Trump's White House border czar. He was reportedly caught taking $50,000 in cash by the FBI.
Wow.
They sort of entrapped him. They were posing as like business people, and he, accepted a bag of cash from him. That's not a good look, but
No, definitely not. So much
you
for by
know,
the people for the people,
and that was like, before the election. And he promised to connect those FBI. Well, he didn't know they were FBI. They were undercover. He promised to connect them with Trump if he won the presidency, and he accepted $50,000 for it, and it's on video. But you know how he was rewarded? Yeah, by being the White House supporters are. And
See?
yeah. Whereas Bob Menendez, I mean, obviously he should be in prison. That's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. Yeah, when Democrats fuck up, we say, you got to go to prison. All right.
Yeah, you got to pay the
That's
consequences,
why
right?
that's why I find it hilarious when Republicans are like, oh, but if we release the Epstein's files, everyone's got to go. Bill Clinton isn't it? Like,
It's
oh,
good,
yeah, okay.
right?
Like
Good, do it.
if he did something wrong, he should be punished for it. We're not going to, defend him just because he's on our team. Like if he did something wrong, he should be held accountable.
Exactly.
Now, there's, nothing concrete in terms of Clinton and the Epstein files. But if it happens to be the case, then
So be it.
so be it.
You're not
Like,
going to hear me defend him. I'll tell you that.
right.
Yeah, when there's
That's the
wrongdoing,
difference. Yeah, that's the difference between MAGA and Democrats.
right, right. Because it seems the Democrats like to
Because
try to keep them in
no,
line.
well, it's because we're not in a cult.
Yeah, and that too. That's
We
another
don't have a cult of
major.
personality, really. I
I know.
mean,
We
I
believe in
love.
morals,
Oh yeah,
law,
moral. Yeah,
Yeah, that comes with the consequences. When someone
the
fucks up or
truth,
does something illegal,
facts,
that would be
science.
yeah,
I mean,
right.
a few things.
Those are just a few things, right?
Yeah, I would love, like, because the investigation against Homan was closed because they said there was not enough evidence. It's like you had the dude on tape accepting
Right?
a bag of cash, like $50,000 in cash. What other evidence do you fucking need?
Right? Like it's right there in front of you. Like you can't lie. You
Hey,
can't
and
make
their
that up.
FBI agents, hey, can you connect us with Trump? If we give you this $50,000 in cash, like it had to be the stupidest fucking thing ever, and it's on video.
It's unbelievable,
But
man.
not enough evidence. And then he's the border czar.
Because they know with Donald Trump, because he's, a pedophile, a criminal, and a con man, and a felon, a misogynist. I can go on forever. But they know that if they fuck up, as long as they suckle up to him, he don't care. He don't give a flying fuck. He'll give you whatever you want as long as you just, kiss his ass. That's all it takes. And that's basically how we are where we are right now. Sad as it is. And all right, everyone. That's all we got for this week on Strange Planet Podcast. New episodes will be every Friday on YouTube normally. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace. May God help us all.